All right. So if you didn't on your text get that area of a circle calculator, so you don't have to do all the arithmetic, you want to have that to the side. It'll just make it faster. So we're going to talk a little bit about area of a circle in a minute. So remember on Friday, let me move this over. Okay, on Friday we talked about area of a circle, and we said that there's a formula. So if I want the area of this circle here, I've got to get its radius. So where are my tools? Okay, so I'm going to get the radius, which is this. Okay, and the radius is half of the diameter. So if I told you the diameter was 10, you would know the radius would be 5, right? And then Fred, you're here, so you're going to tell us this part. If I say R times R, and R is 5, is that 5 times 2 or is that 5 times 5? 5 times 5, right. So R squared means 5 times 5, not 2, right?
Oh, you're saying both of them are 5. Oh, yeah.
Because it's, so look here, let me, I'm slow on my tools. Okay, see this little square symbol here?
That's 5 to the second power.
Yeah, so when I'm getting the area of a circle, I have to do the radius to the second power, which means radius number by times radius number. And then I multiply that times pi. So for this, it would be R times R, and then I would say times 3.14, right? Right. So go on that calculator that I sent you and put in that the radius is 7, and then text on the Pear Deck what the answer to this area was. If I told you this radius is 7, what would the area of the entire thing be? So that's what we want to know.
If the radius is what?
7. If the radius is 7. If the radius is 7, what would the answer be? So everybody's using their calculator. That's correct. It'd be 153.9-ish, 153.94 square units, right? So I would say 7 times 7 is 49, and 49 times 3.14 would be the right answer, okay? So I'm going to clear this out, and let's move to the next problem. Okay, everybody got that? All right. So here are some circle basics. Let me see if I can get this moved.
So basically, you have to multiply the radius by itself and then multiply it by 3.14.
Correct, because the formula is pi times radius squared. Correct. All right. So a couple of things in case you're not clear. Here, radius is half of the diameter. Here's the definition of radius. The definition of radius is that it is from the center.
Yes.
Right, yes. It's from the center point out to the circumference edge, which happens to be half of the diameter, right? And then the definition of a diameter is a chord, a line that goes all the way through the center circle to each edge. All right. So in this example right here, this is a radius, right? This is a radius. This is a radius. It's like the slices on the pie, right? Did y'all see that? You just go from the center circle out any direction. It's always going to be the same thing. But notice that this radius and this radius go all the way across, so that becomes a diameter, right? So that's why the radius would be half of the diameter. And then what do you call the perimeter of a circle? What do you call this perimeter part? Call it the circumference, right? Yeah, it's the circumference. So around the edge of the circle is a circumference. And the reason we have that idea of pi, let me make sure somebody's not trying to join in. Let me get Fallon in. Hang on, Fallon. All right. So the reason that we have the idea of pi is so pi is a ratio, right? So let me type that on here. So pi means, okay, my stuff's messing up. Hang on just a second. Let me hit my annotate button. Give me just a second. All right. So pi is a relationship. It is a ratio of the diameter to the, it's a relationship of the circumference to the diameter. All right. So in other words, if I say the circle around,
whose phone is already draining battery up now?
Okay, if I say the circle around the entire circle is 34 inches, then the diameter would be basically a third of that. The diameter would be basically a third. So if I take the circumference of the circle, divide it by 3.14, that's what the diameter is. So on the Pear Deck, will you type in, if I know the diameter, how would I get the circumference? So on here, if you'll tell me, if I know that the diameter is a certain number, how would I get its circumference without measuring? That's the question.
Do we text it to you?
On Pear Deck. Yeah, on here. Yeah, Fred, just send it on the Pear Deck. You should have a response spot.
What was the second question?
So the question is, if I know the diameter of the circle, how would I figure out its circumference without measuring? If I know the diameter. Okay, so most of you said I would multiply the diameter times pi, 3.14. That's correct. But if I knew the circumference, how would I get the diameter? I would divide that by pi, right? For example, have you ever heard somebody say, oh, that tree has a diameter of a foot? Well, they can't literally put a ruler through the tree. So what they do is they take a tape measure. The tape measure goes around the tree. They take that amount, divide it by 3.14, and that's how thick the tree is. Okay, so you see I have a hat on, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so you see it has a circumference for the circle. Has anybody ever heard of hat sizes? Right?
Yes.
Did you know that a hat size, like for example, my hat size is 7 1/8 on a fitted hat. So literally, to get your hat size, you take a measuring tape for sewing, and you put it around the thickest part of your head here, right over your ears, around your forehead. You measure that, divide that number times pi, and that tells you approximately your hat size. So that's how they do hat sizes. They use pi to get your hat size. Now, most people just try them on until they find the one that fits, but that's how you would do it. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. So let's practice a circle. All right. On the next one, right here. Okay, so now you have a circle. It is 18 inches in diameter. Will you please tell me the area of this circle on Pear Deck? What is the area of this circle?
ET,
Okay, Fred, correct. Pramita, correct. Hey guys, use that little calculator I gave you. Josie, correct.
I never got a calculator.
Okay, it's on the Parsons text.
yeah, ET, you just,
Kylie, yes. All right, so what you had to do was half the diameter to get the radius, correct? So half of 18 would be 9. 9 squared is 81. 81 times 3.14 is 254 and 47/100 square inches. Agree? Okay, let me get Mason in. Okay, Mason, are you there? All right. So that's how you get the area of that circle. All right. Any questions about how you do that? All right. Now, if I were to want to know the circumference around the circle, I would just multiply 3.14 times 18, right? Yes. Okay. So I'm moving to the next one. All right. So if you didn't get 254 and 47/100 square inches, do you see why it is? I would do 9, half of this. Okay, let me do this. I would do half of the diameter, which is 9, times 3.14. So let me just text it right here. So it would be 9 times 9 times 3.14. And that equals 254 and 47/100 square inches. That was the answer. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next one. And the next question is this one. Okay. So now, one more. This is the last one of these. What is the area of this circle? I think it may go off your screen, but pretend like it's all there. What's the area of this circle? Because you're going to need this for the composite figures. And I'm doing it on the little site myself, just like you. All right, Josie, yes. Graham, yes. Kylie, yes. Jayla, yes. Kimani, correct. Angelo, correct. So again, what's 12 times 12? 144, correct? And then 144 times 3.14 is the answer.
452 something.
Yeah, it's 452 and 3900 centimeters squared, right? So 12 times 12, 144, 144 times 3.14. All right. If you did not get 452 and 3900 squared centimeters, do you see why that's the right answer? 12 times 12, 144, 144 times 3.14. All right, let me move on. All right, next. All right, we did this one on Friday. So this one, I'm just going to walk us through it really quickly. So on here, I would need 13, and I need this 24 down here, correct? Right? And then I would add those together, and when I add them together, I get 37. Half of 37 times 4 is this part. Then 7 times 24 down here, add all that together. All right? All right. So A, B, C, D, or E? A, B, C, D, or E? Try this one on your Pear Deck. Hey, Melis, I'm adding you in.
What'd you say, Kareem?
I said, which one should I do next?
Okay, did you all get, so for the top part, it's 74 inches. And then the bottom part, you'd add 24 times 7. So what answer are y'all coming up with? I'm getting a lot of people saying it's 242 square inches. Yes? When you add all that together? That's correct. Would somebody tell us how you got that? Could someone tell us how you got C?
I can.
Okay, thank you.
So first you multiply 24 times 7 for the
Yeah.
rectangle.
Yes,
Then you add 13 and 24, which is 37. Then
Yep.
multiply that by 4.
yes,
Then you have to divide that by 2.
yes,
And then you add, and which that is 74. 74 plus 128.
I got the answer.
128 is the area of the rectangle.
right. And then add those two together to get 242 square inches, right? Okay, everybody good on that one? Okay, let's go to the next one. Hey, now you've got to use your circle calculator, right? Okay, so use your circle calculator. So let me walk you through part of it here. If you can do it by yourself, go on. If you want me to walk you through it, just listen. So I want to do 12 times 12, which is 144 for this part, right? All right. Then I want to do 12, half of it, half 12, which is 6. Then on my calculator, I'm going to say 6 squared times 3.14, right? And then I'm going to do half of that because it's only a half circle, right? So for the half circle, do 6 squared times 3.14, half that, add it with 144. And see what answer you get. And I do know these take a little longer to do. That's correct. Here comes the train.
I need someone to repeat that again.
Yes, Fred, here you go. So, Fred, hang on. Oh, he's only doing one. Okay, so Fred, the square is Fred. The square is 12 times 12, 144, right?
Mhm.
Whoa. All right. Then you got to add 144 with the half circle. I know the half circle has a radius of 6 because of this 12 right here, right? This 12 matches over here.
So is it 144 plus 144?
No, it's 144 for the square, and then I got to get the half circle. Okay? The half circle I get by saying the diameter is 12, so I need the radius, which is 6. 6 times 6 is 36 times 3.14, which you can do that on your calculator on that website. Right?
Google.
On that Google site.
It's not a site.
It's a link.
No, it's just you can't link, but it's not really a site either.
All right. So Fred, when I do the circle, I get 113.1, but I got to half it. The reason I've got to half it is because that's only half of the circle. So half of that, which would be 66 plus 144, right?
50.
Yeah, whatever it is. The answer you got should be what? So the answer you got is E, 200.5?
Yeah.
Yes, the answer is E, 200.5. All right, let me clear this one out. I think that's the hardest one. And here's the thing. Almost every single person got E. Wow, that's great. Almost everybody got E. This is hard too. All right.
Is our time almost up?
We got 10 minutes. All right, here's another one. Then we'll do GimKit after that. So this one, I've got to do area of a trapezoid first. So I'm going to say 2 plus 10 is 12. Half of that is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. All right? So the trapezoid equals 24. Everybody good with that?
Mhm.
Now, the circle, I got to do 2 squared. 2 times 2 times 3.14. All right? So 2 times 2 times 3.14. And then I've got to half it because it's a half circle.
So this let's see.
Mr. P, at the beginning, how did you get 24?
For the trapezoid,
Yeah.
so I did 2 plus 10 is 12. Half of that is 6. 6 times 4 is the height.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. And then the circle is half of 12.57. So 6.28, something like that. And the response then would be that you add those together, and are you getting 30.3? We can eliminate A and B and C, right? Because they're less than 24. We can also eliminate D because it's more than 3/10 more, right? So it has to be E, right? So it would have to be E, right? Most of you said E, and that's correct. If you did not say E, do you see why the correct answer is E? Okay. Is that ET doing that?
Yeah.
All right. One last one. All right. Now I've got a purple. So what are the two? What are the two I got to do? Okay, ET, stop. James, get him
I'm
under
not
control.
doing that part. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you are.
I want to draw it too. No.
All right. So everybody sees I got to do the rectangle, right? Okay. So for the rectangle, I'm going to do 9 times 12.
Okay.
All right. And what's 9 times 12?
108.
108.
108. And then for the triangle, this is easier. For the triangle, I need to say 7 times 9. Anybody want to stop me on 7 times 9?
7 times 12.
Stop.
Yeah, it's 7 times 9, half of it. Remember why? Look,
7 times.
hey, look why. Here's why. This, the base of the triangle is 9. The height of the triangle is 7, right? So 9 times 7,
63.
but half of it, right? So what's half of 63?
30.1. Wait.
That's 1.5.
Yes, so equals 31.5. And then 31 point, oh my. Then 31.5 plus 108 gives me what?
139.
139.5.
So 139.5 plus 108 gives me
Two.
C.
Good.
I agree it's C. Yep,
Mm.
everybody says C.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, it's C.
Wow.
It's correct. Oh, we got time for one more. Okay, one more. Clear my drawings. All right. And here you go. Now, on this one, we haven't done one like this yet. There are 2 ways I can do this. All right. So before you do anything, watch the 2 ways. Okay. Hey guys, stop writing on the screen, please. Okay. Don't write on the screen, please. All right. So here, first thing I'm going to do is I can build up the bigger rectangle here. I can do that and then take out the little piece, right? I can do it that way, or I can break it into 2 rectangles like that and add them together. So either way you can do it. I'm going to do the big one and take out the white part. Okay. I'm going to do that over here on the side. You can go ahead and do whichever way you want. All right. So
Okay, we
the
have-
whole big rectangle would be 8 times 6. Area equals 6 times 8, which equals 48. But then I got to take away the little tiny piece here. And the little tiny piece that's right here is 4 by 2. The reason I know it's 4 by 2 is because this is 6, this is 4, that makes this part 2, and then 2 times 4 is 8, right? So take away over here 48 minus 8 equals 40. All right, so the answer would be based on what I just said. Now, if you do it the other direction, I would say, so if you did that, great. If you didn't, watch the other way. Okay, the other way is to divide it in half. Again, this is a new one. We have not done one of these yet. This is brand new stuff, okay? So I cut the shape into 2 separate rectangles. Does everybody see it's 2 rectangles? Well, it's a rectangle and a square, right? All right. So to do that, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say square is 4 by 4, 16. Okay, agree? The rectangle is 6 times 4, 24. And add those together, and 24 plus 16 equals 40. So you get A again. So the correct answer was A. All right. So in just a second, I will close out this Zoom, and then I will open up a new Zoom with GimKit. If you are going to play, I hope you will. Does anybody have a question about what we did on here?
Can I do boss?
We'll see. Anybody have a question about the math? Please remember, if you have a question, send me a private text, it's a text to me, and then I will set up a time. I will FaceTime you on your device and help you if you have questions. All right? Anytime you need help, we'll schedule a time for me to FaceTime you, okay? I tried to also make the lesson today where I started at the top and say, here's literacy, here's math, here's science, here's social studies. And then here's DDD, and here's the ed puzzle that goes with the subjects, right? So try to go at the top and work down each day and did as much as you can. So you don't, so we can stay up on not falling behind, okay? So I'm gonna say bye, and I'll catch you in just a minute on the Zoom for GimKit, okay?
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
All right, see you guys. Come back to GimKit, please. All right, let me get this up. Stop video. Wait. All right, see you over there.